Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be general messages for the month of May for the sign of Pisces. Hello, Pisces. How are you guys doing? I hope everything's going well for you guys. Hope you guys are feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good. It's been a nice day. Good weather going on where I am in the world. Quickly, before we get started, if you guys just want to check the description box below, if you're interested in getting directly to the reading, there will be a timestamp down there for you. And you can go ahead and click on that or jump to the time that's listed there. It'll take you to straight when the reading begins. Also in the description box below, you're going to find information on how to set up a private reading with me if you would be interested in that. And I also want to give Pisces a very big thank you. You guys, I am a new YouTube channel, or excuse me, a new reader here on YouTube. And I believe for the general readings for April, Pisces, you were like the second most watched video with over 1,000 views. So that's pretty impressive as being, somebody who's just brand new to, producing videos like this and putting them up on YouTube. So I want to give you guys a really big thank you for coming and viewing what I put up there so many times. And I think there were considerable likes on that video, so I'm really, really, really appreciative of that, and I would hope the trend continues going into the future. So again, if you're watching this and you but you feel compelled to share the video, that would be great. If you feel compelled to comment on the video, that would be awesome as well. And of course, liking and subscribing is also welcome, but only do those things if you're compelled to do them. And I think that's about it. Yeah, happy spring. In case I've been telling other signs, Pisces, that I'm like so happy that spring is here. Winter was exceptionally long, especially where I am in the world. Like winter just did not want to let go. We were getting snow in March, like mid-March and everything like that. It was crazy. But now we're right here in the beginning of May. I do apologize that this is coming out slightly late, a couple days late, 4 days late or something like that. So I do apologize about that, but hopefully I'll get myself back on schedule in the next few days. So Pisces, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome as well. What I do is a 6-card spread with one card, the 7th card being your outcome for the month, and the bottom of the deck would be your overall energy for the month of May. And I do meditate previously before I turn the camera on. And Pisces, what I'm doing now is just getting reestablished with your energy before I go ahead and get into the actual shuffling of the deck. Pisces, May 2018. Okay. Pisces, May 2018. May 2018. There we go. Okay. All right, Pisces, let's go. It's a little rough. This is a little hard to get these cards to shuffle. Just an observation, Pisces. Alright, Pisces, 2018, May 2018. Semi-sideways. Which way, please? Up or down? Yeah, okay. It mostly came up, but I just wanted to be sure. Wow, these are very stiff, which is interesting. Yes, no? No, okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, there it goes. Came out sideways. Which way, please? This way. Okay. Bottom of the deck is going to be your overall energy for the month of May, Pisces. Very nice. All right, and I'm just going to flip the ones that were face down. And then we're going to get into your reading. I'm going to see what's happening. Oh, boy. Pisces. Okay. What do we have here with Pisces? Where's Pisces, please? Alright, so moving is something that I hear, moving. And along the sides. So, alright. Pisces, I think you're here in the Chariot as you come into May. I think you're pretty much there. Yeah, okay. Okay, so, yeah. This is where you primarily are as you come into May. Pisces, as you begin the month, you come in as the Chariot. Card associated with Cancer, so there might be a Cancer in your life who is of significance. Pisces, but what's going on is what I feel, and I did say moving or something like that, or moved or something like that. Some of you are on the move. Some of you have moved houses recently. You've moved to a different city or a different house, whatever it is, and some of you have literally moved. Others of you, and I think this is more the majority, like you are anticipating a move, and not necessarily a physical move, but more of a change. You're anticipating sort of an upheaval in a way. Not like a terrible upheaval. It's not like it's not something you don't want. It's something that you've been wanting. It's something that you've been working towards. And I'm using the word upheaval because I think that to certain degrees, for some Pisces out there, this move is sudden. Or it will appear to be sudden. It will appear to be as if it came out of the blue. But in actuality, I think most of you Pisces that I'm speaking to today, you've been planning this. In order for the Chariot to move successfully, not only does the driver of the Chariot have to have a destination in mind and have to have resolve and a plan, there also has to be work to make the two sphinxes, or in other decks, the two horses, the two entities, the black sphinx and the white sphinx, to merge those energies, to get them to complement each other and work together. And so that requires a lot of negotiation, that requires a lot of finagling, that requires issues of balance and basically getting your ducks in a row. So, Pisces, you've been getting your ducks in a row. Trying your best to, at least. Whether or not you've been successful, you're going to find out when you get that Chariot moving. I think a lot of you are taking a risk. Well, not a risk? So, some of you might have been anticipating this move, this new transition for some of you, this new pathway. Like some of you have been anticipating starting along this new path in your life that you might leave a little prematurely. Like you might begin your journey as the Chariot or with the energy of the Chariot a little prematurely. So as much as you've been trying to get all your ducks in a row, you kind of don't wait you kind of are over it, and you're not really waiting for like the last one or two ducks to sort of file along with the rest. So some of you are sort of jumping the gun, which isn't like terrible. I don't think it's terrible, but you know, it just might throw a few monkey wrenches in your plan if you don't really wait, and if you're not 100% sure that everything is in its place. If you're like 90% sure, I mean, 90% is a good percentage, right? It's not terrible, but you know, if for the sake of transitions and going along new pathways in your life, or new moves, like moving to a new home, a new city, whatever it is, you want to be as close to 100% as possible, right? But if you're okay with 90% and you feel confident going forward, Pisces, with 90%, that's what you're going to do for some of you. And the reason is because of what sandwiches, or what comes on either side of the chariot. You have the Nine of Wands here on the left side, and on the far side you have the Moon in reverse, and we'll talk about that in a second. Starting here, both are here because they're influencing the motion or the journey and sort of the fire that's behind the chariot. So Pisces, a lot of you are just like really worn out. You're feeling very overwhelmed, you're feeling burdened, you're feeling beat up by the universe, beat up by life. You're feeling like Charlie Brown running to kick that football and Lucy yanks it away and you fall on your butt, right? And the difference there, and I just mentioned Charlie Brown, but the difference is that you've willingly been like this, Pisces. You've put up with a lot of things that you didn't have to put up with because you felt it was your duty. Now, I'm speaking in very general terms, so how this can apply in your life, this could be a work situation, this could be a family situation, it could be a love situation, it could be, for some of you, self-esteem. It could be, for some of you. I'm not really feeling it strongly in any arena just yet, so that's why I'm speaking very generally. But whatever it is, you sort of co-signed on this energy and being in this position for a bit of your recent past. How long, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to say at least for the majority of 2018 so far. You guys have been like this, feeling overworked, feeling burdened, feeling put out, feeling abused or taken advantage of or neglected, things like this. And you've allowed yourself to be this way. And I think a lot of you feel that, or the reason that you did this was because you felt it was what you had to do. A lot of you were acting from a place of responsibility and obligation. You felt obligated to be like this. So, that could mean in your work, there's certain aspects of your job that are difficult, that are taxing on you, that make you feel as if you have nothing left to give, but you keep pushing on anyway. So some of you have been put on extremely difficult projects. Some of you are doing manual labor, which is backbreaking and difficult to persevere through, and it's physically exhausting to you. Others of you, this is relationships. This is a family situation where, you know, you're picking up the slack or you're carrying a certain burden that just drains you of your own energy, drains you of your own vitality. This person is here, and even though he's alone, he's there at the benefit of someone else. This guy, the wounded warrior, right? If he had it his way, he'd be home resting. You know, he would be at home recuperating. But because he feels obligated, he remains here in this defensive position, in this very just downtrodden and low energy, low self-esteem, just worn out. And like I was about to say, this also involves relationships. So for some of you, this is a family situation where, you know, amongst your siblings, you're the one who's carrying the heaviest load when it comes to taking care of your parents or your grandparents. Or within a family situation, maybe you're the breadwinner and your partner's out of work right now. Your spouse hasn't been able to find a job for the past 8 months or something like that. So that creates a certain amount of stress. And the thing about you, Pisces, is you take stress that is your own and you put it on a lower tier. You don't prioritize it. You prioritize other people's stress. So that's what I'm saying about this obligation. You welcome in the stress of someone else's life or someone else's circumstances, and you wear it like it's your own. And that's kind of getting on your nerves, quite honestly. I think a lot of you are coming to that realization that you kind of absorb the stress and the anxiety and the frustrations and the lack of tenacity, the lack of energy from other people. If this is, especially if this is involving other people, this could be just you at work and you're overworked and you're burdened by your own occupation. That's different. I'm speaking specifically at this point to people who are in relationships or have a certain close relationship with someone, whether it's romantic, family, friends, whoever. But you're taking on the energy of someone else, or you're taking on the bulk of the burden in your relationship. And you're wearing it. That's like what I'm compelled to say. Like, you're wearing it. Like, every day you get up, you pull it out of your closet, and you slide your arms through it, and you just wear this burden. You wear this this heavy anxiety and stress, and just it's very pitiful in a lot of ways, because, and I'm not trying to critique you. I'm not trying to say this to like demean you, Pisces. What I feel is that you kind of feel like nobody understands what you're doing. Nobody even recognizes that you're like this. So okay. So you're wearing it, but nobody knows you're wearing it. It's pitiful because nobody can see you like this fully. Fully. Some people might have an idea. Oh, you look a little tired. You look a little, are you okay? Are you eating? Are you sleeping? Like, someone might be thinking you're under the weather, but they don't realize it's more than that. That's the pity, is that I think you kind of are in need. No, not in need, but you're kind of realizing that nobody knows how much of this situation is weighing on you, how heavily it's weighing on you, how heavily it's affecting you. And the thing about it is, like I said, you've co-signed on this. You've accepted this for a long time. You've just been like, I guess this is what I have to do. You've accepted it as if it's a fact of life, that you have to feel this way, that you have to inherit the burdens and the stress of other people. You feel like there's no other recourse for this. And that's not true. And I think you're coming to that realization. A part of you still doesn't realize this. Some of you are still like, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. Some of you absolutely don't recognize that. Others of you, you're coming around to realizing it. And the energies that are surrounding this, for some of you, are indicating that things are turning around in your mind. Your perspective is changing. You feel less obligated as time goes on. And now you might be starting to feel a little resentful. And I shouldn't say that. Pisces doesn't usually feel resent. Some of you might, but you just feel done. Like how I said before about the chariot's going to leave the gate or leave its and head out on its journey at like 90% instead of waiting to 100%. That's where that's coming from. Some of you are realizing, I've put up with this for this long. Oh, we need to leave now. I have to get out of here right now. You know, it's like sometimes you see like videos online or on the news of like people who are at a gas pump and they leave the nozzle in their tank. This would be you. Oh, I have to go now. And you would yank the nozzle out from the gas pump, right? Totally accidental, but your mind is about to become so focused on leaving this behind that kind of things might get damaged in your leaving. Take that as you will. I'm not really seeing this overwhelmingly in one particular area of your life or another, so I'm being very general. And if it doesn't resonate at all, please don't force it. Now, the other thing that's influencing your wanting to get up and go is the moon in reverse, which is your own card, Pisces. You rule the card of the moon in it, and you guys have that energy within you. Now, when it's in reverse, It's indicating that certain illusions, certain hidden truths are dissolving, are being erased, are coming out of the darkness, coming out of the shadows. So again, you guys are coming to some interesting realization. Something internal, something external. It's really not clear which way it could go. But it's something that I think either you have ignored and you had no idea, or you did know, but you were like pushing it away. You kept like deflecting it. So some of you, honestly, it's going to be a huge revelation to you what this truth is, what this move towards being more honest and compassionate towards yourself. Some of you are going to be blown away by your own inner truth bubbling up. Others of you, you've known it's been bubbling. You've been watching that pot sit on the stove, bubbling and bubbling. You've been watching, the top on the pot begin to rattle, and the liquid inside starts to come up from out of the pot and brim over, okay? Regardless, though, I think that it's very interesting. I feel like sort of Pisces gets the stereotype of being sort of mellow, right? Very go with the flow, very wispy, very light and ethereal. This feels very much a little more solid, a little more concrete, a little more hefty or weighty. And I feel like I'm having trouble reading it for you based on the energies that I'm feeling, because it's not solid yet. Like, I think if anything, if you're not, okay, here we go. Some of you are not actually going to do this move and everything like that. You're just thinking about it heavily. That's why I think it's harder for me to articulate it, because it's not a well-formed intention for a lot of you. I think a lot of you, it's a dream. Or, excuse me, some of you. So for some of you, this is like definitely like a plan, and you plan to execute it. You hope to have the ball rolling soon, within the month of May or thereabouts. Others of you, it's like a daydream. This whole give up the burden, give up the stress, come to some deeper inner truth about yourself, and then move away from these burdens, move away from these stressful situations, move away from feeling as if the world is crashing down around you. Escape. There's some issue of having like escape here. And it's in your head. It's in your head. A lot of you. That's interesting. Because these two cards are definitely cards of action. Wands are related to fire signs, and fire signs are known to be dynamic and action-oriented, right? Or the element of fire in fire signs. So, the Nine of Wands, even though he's stationary, there is still some willfulness involved there. You have to will yourself to remain there. You have to have spirit and tenacity and willpower to stay in this energy. The Chariot, even though it's related to Cancer and that's a water sign, it still indicates an actual movement, actual get up and go. And I think some of you are a little hesitant. You're hesitant to do that. You're nervous to do it. You're afraid to do it. I'm not sure that you should give in to that fear. Especially because the moon is reversed. And the moon reversed is wanting truth, wanting clarity. Having clarity so close you could reach out and grab it. There might be a chance that some of you miss an opportunity here if you don't act. If you don't take the dreaming and put it into reality, some of you might miss an opportunity to be free of this energy, to embrace truth and sort of go on your own path and be your own person. And, for once, look out for yourself and be concerned with yourself and prioritize yourself. Okay? And I think, let me see. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. I think you're having a bit of an arc here. And a V. I think that's what this is. Okay. And then this. Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. So let's start with the V. So here are the two energies that are influencing you right now, Pisces. Why you feel so ready to get up and go, or why you're daydreaming about leaving your circumstances behind and getting on to a different path, a more prosperous path, a happier path in your life. These are the two influences, right? These are the two things that are causing you to feel this way. How can you actually do it? Take that dream and turn it into reality? You have to tap into the power of the magician. Magician is a big-time manifester. He is an alchemist. He's able to take all the elements that are on the table in front of him, all the elements that are associated with nature and all of the zodiacs, and he's able to melt them together for his benefit. Takes a lot of confidence to do that. Takes a lot of know-how. And that's what's missing here for you, Pisces, is for some of you, it is actual know-how. Some of you want to move forward, go and pack up and move to, Portland. Some of you just want to get up and go west, right? You've never been to the West Coast. You specifically want to go to the Pacific Northwest. So you decide, I want to go to Portland. But some of you have never left your city, left your hometown. You've never had to purchase plane tickets. You've never had to rent an apartment. So the actual steps to making that move to another city happen, it's not known to you. So some of you lack actual step-by-step knowledge, book knowledge, but life experience in what you're trying to do. You've never done it before. Others of you just lack the confidence. You've had the experience before. You know what it's like to get up and leave and move to a different city, or just move houses, or in some cases leave a relationship or an aspect of a relationship, but more specifically a relationship. And it doesn't have to be romantic. Even though, we've got this guy sitting here and this guy over here. We'll talk about them in a bit. But it can just be leaving a relationship that's not good for you, that makes you feel like this, right? Makes you feel tired all the time, makes you feel overworked, makes you feel burdened, makes you feel stressed and anxious, and just feeling not like yourself and feeling like you're obligated to stay. Something ties you there. You feel as though your relationship to this person, because of who they are in your life, you have to remain there. And there's some inner truth that you've ignored, that you've pushed down, that you've swept to the side, or that has been so deeply hidden, so embedded in your subconscious that you don't even know what I'm talking about. It hasn't hit you yet. Or it's like, for some of you, it's just going to come like overnight. Like, oh, wow, boom. That's what was hidden in my subconscious. And the magician, like I said, it's an issue of know-how, actual step-by-step processes. And in other cases, it's about confidence. It's about believing that you have the ability to create a new path for yourself. Like I said, the magician, he has all the tools in front of him. He can do it. He's got the cup, he's got the pentacle, he's got the sword, he's got the wand. He's got it all. He can do it. But if he doesn't believe he can do it, if he doesn't put in the work, not just the belief, but the work to do it, he's not going to get what he wants. So that's what in terms of how you can get on the road, so to speak, with the Chariot energy, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself, Pisces. You have to be able to visualize yourself making the changes in your life that you want to see. You have to be able to visualize yourself getting the rewards, getting into the new environments that you desire to be in. If you want to live on the beach, or if you want to live in the woods, like a cabin in the woods, if you want to if you want to build your own home in the woods, visualize it, research it, start to build up the resources that you need. Buy the lumber, take a wood cutting courses, do whatever. Okay, sorry about that, Pisces. My little Bluetooth player wanted to be interrupting me, so I didn't like that, so I had to cut that out. Now, so just have the self-belief, the self-confidence that you can do this, that you can face these energies and not be discouraged by them. Like, there is something honorable about being this person, Pisces, being loyal, being someone who believes in obligation and fulfills their obligation. What you need to not do is do that to a fault. Do that to the point where it is detrimental to your own happiness, your own well-being. That's when you have to stop. And don't be so defeatist because you don't necessarily recognize the truths in yourself as readily as other people might, or as clearly as other people might. You know, you're very you're ruled by Neptune, right, Pisces, which is the dreamscape, which is the ruler of illusion and beauty and stardom, right? Fantasy. So I think that's what happens sometimes with you, Pisces. When things aren't what you when your reality doesn't match up to your fantasy, you get discouraged. You get bummed out. And maybe that's what this truth is. You thought that you were in something, as far as work, as far as the relationship, as far as even aspects of yourself. You thought that you had reached a certain point of success or happiness or contentment or satisfaction, but then slowly but surely, the colors of that painting, that colors of that landscape that you thought was beautiful, begins to fade away, begins to melt away, and it becomes gray. Like monochrome is what I'm getting. You at some point were involved with, or have been, if it's still going on, involved in something, a relationship, a work, a job, or whatever it is, that was fulfilling to you. It brought color into your life. It was exciting. It was fresh. It was invigorating. Made you happy. As time went on, as it tends to do, we change. The circumstances change. The people that we're involved with change. Our own sentiments, or not our own sentiments, but our own sensibilities change, right? And as those changes happened, you thought that the landscape, that the painting that you had as you started out in this situation was the same. No, it's not the same. The painting has changed, or the elements in the painting have changed. Maybe before it was a landscape of like a lake, and there was like a boat on the lake, and there was like a tree over here, and someone was having a picnic under the tree. Now the landscape has changed. The tree is gone, the lake is frozen over, and you're still trying to envision a colorful, bright, sunshiny lakeside view, but it's not like that anymore. Like, it's a weird analogy, but that's what hit me in my head. That's why I'm expressing it to you in this way. And you still want to have that painting be in vibrant, lively colors, and it's not. And that might distress you in some way. That's the truth that you're coming to is, oh my God, My painting isn't colorful anymore. It's monochrome. It's in black and white. How long has it been? And that's the thing, because you get so caught up in your dreamscape sometime, Pisces, that time kind of the confines of time kind of get lost on you, and sometimes it's hard for you to recollect when the change happened, or when you do recollect when the change happened, if you get the timeline correct, so to speak, it's a shock. Like, oh man, that was like 2.5 years ago. What? I've done this for 2.5 years? Crazy. Magician. Get into this magician position. This magician energy. And realize you can paint a whole new picture, Pisces, or you can paint the same picture. You just need a whole new canvas on which to do it. Or you need to leave that lake, find a new lake, and paint that scene. If you get the confidence behind you and you research some things so that you have the know-how, you'll be able to get into that Chariot energy and move forward the way you want. Now, what do you want? Or rather, what would you be going towards if you get that Chariot moving? Because again, some of you, I think you will actually do it. Some of you have everything that you need set to get on with this Chariot energy and move on to whatever you want to move on to. Others of you, you're still sitting in the garage. You know, you're still in the driveway. The car is not packed. The luggage isn't packed. You haven't you haven't planned your trip at all, but you feel like you want to. Now, regardless of what stage you're at as far as how you can utilize the Chariot energy, regardless of where you are, what your motivation is these two things. Two of Cups, Queen of Swords. Two of Cups. YouTube. A lot of tarot readers here refer to this as the soulmate card. I've said in several videos, I can agree with that sometimes, but most of the time I'm just going to say a soulmate. Or the feeling of this. So, to me, a soulmate is someone who has a profound connection with you. You share a profound connection with them. It's sometimes inexplicable, sometimes mind-blowing, sometimes life-altering, that kind of thing. So that doesn't necessarily have to be someone that you're romantically involved with. Can be a friend, can be a neighbor, can be a coworker, can be a family member, can be an animal even. Okay? But regardless of who this person is, and I'm not really feeling that it's a person per se. I'm feeling this is more of, this is what you desire. Regardless of whether this feeling is attached or this energy or feeling is attached to a person. What you want is this. You want a substantial connection with someone. You are longing for it, regardless of whether you're in a relationship right now. Regardless if you have strong ties with other people in your life right now. You want this. For some of you, this is in the romantic sense of you want the one. You want to meet the one. You want to be with the one. Whether or not you know them, I can't tell. Whether or not you've met them already, I don't know. So for some of you, this is like definitely in a romantic sense. You want to meet the partner of a lifetime. You want to meet the person that's just going to be the Fred to your Wilma. You know? The Romeo to your Juliet. Like that epic pairing. That's what you want. A good portion of you want that. Others of you, you just want to feel this connection with someone, regardless of whether it's romantic or not. You have struggled with or have found that the people that surround you right now, they don't give you this feeling. You haven't had this feeling in your life in a while, if ever at all. And you want it. So regardless of whether it's romantic or not, it's got to be something substantial. You want to move towards more substantial relationships in your life. Heart-to-heart conversations is what you want. Getting into someone's essence. getting into the core of the person, sharing those cups intimately. Oh, it's a tall order, but it's possible. You're a Pisces. You're deep. So as long as you find somebody who can match you, you'll be okay, I think. And the other thing that is along your journey, or what is a part of where you want to go, is the Queen of Swords. Now, this could be a person, Queen of Swords. For some of you, this could be an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. But if it's not a specific person that you have in mind who might fit these characteristics, it's more about the energy that you desire. You desire both for yourself and maybe also for your potential partners or someone that you have a substantial relationship with, or even circumstances. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person. A soulmate can be like volunteerism, like you find a passion in volunteering for certain causes. Less frequently it's like that, but I'm just giving you the potential, right? So what you want is clarity, swift clarity, no gray area. I think you've had enough of that up here. The Queen of Swords is definitely, she has a dream capability about her because she's seated amongst the clouds, right? So she has this ability to dream, but she's also pragmatic and she's able to execute her plans, her wishes, her desires. She doesn't futz around. She doesn't fart around, you know? She means business. She's serious. And I think this would be more of an energy that you desire and not an actual person. Although some of you might want a hard-edged person like this. Some of you might want somebody who's just like no nonsense, very cut and dry type of character. Some of you might want that. But I feel it's more of an energy that you want to learn, want to embody, want to, like how I said before, you're wearing this. You like get up in the morning, you put that on your body, that stressed, anxious energy. You want to wear this instead now. You want to put on the clothes, the attitude, the perspective, the argumentation or communication style of the Queen of Swords. You want to be a boss. You want to be about your business. You want to be about expressing yourself and being understood, not having your words be misconstrued, misunderstood, not being valued. The Queen of Swords knows her value, and she will tell you what her value is. If you value her any less than what she believes she's valued at, what level that she's on, she's going to tell you, oh no, I'm not, no, you're not going to talk to me like that. Or, oh no, I wasn't done speaking. I was making a point here. You can shut up now, Bob. She's that type of person where she's not going to be walked on or stepped over. She's not going to be dismissed. She commands respect. And I think that's, again, more of an energy that you want to borrow, because it's not your natural inclination. And I'm not sure that it's necessarily a part of your natural makeup, Pisces, for a lot of you. I think Pisces are typically understood to be pretty compassionate. And not to say that the Queen of Swords isn't. It's also not her strong suit to be compassionate. As much as being insistent on being heard and not to be, talked over or dismissed, sometimes Pisces, you will roll with that energy because you don't want to upset the apple cart, right? Queen of Swords will upset the apple cart. She will set it on fire. She will throw it off the 10-story building. She'll do what she wants with the apple cart. And that's not your natural inclination. But I think you just want to borrow that energy for a while in order to get you up and out of this circumstance that you find yourself in, or this relationship that you find yourself in. I think that you realize in order to get going, actually get out on that road, you're going to have to upset the apple cart. You're going to have to ruffle a few feathers. And you know who doesn't care about ruffling feathers? The Queen of Swords. She doesn't care. She will ruffle all of the feathers. She will do what she wants. And she won't apologize for it. So some of you want that energy. You want to borrow that energy of being self-assured, unapologetic, ruthless if you have to be, cutthroat if you have to be, aloof, but certainly powerful and resolute in your own power, understanding your own self-worth. Not to say that you normally don't. I just think it's a matter of you don't normally assert it. And she is an assertive person, the Queen of Swords. Oh boy, this is interesting. I'm not really feeling this like strongly in any particular area of life. And it is a general reading after all, so that's applicable. But wherever this is hitting for you, Pisces, if it is hitting for you, if it's resonating with you at all, I think you just kind of got to get out of your own way. Don't be in your own way. Don't step on your own toes. You know, don't rain on your own parade. Be fierce. I think I said that to you in a previous reading. Maybe for April, maybe one of the love readings, I'm not sure. But there's an element of needing to be fierce here. Yeah. What's your outcome for May? Pisces, you have the Page of Swords, or excuse me, Page of Cups. That's nice. So some of you might be feeling renewed in your own energy. It is the cup, so that's related to water signs. And I say renewed because, you know, this is not a knight, it's not a queen, or it's not a king. This is like a novice cups energy, a newbie, right? Juvenile. So some of you are going to feel renewed in terms of your cups energy, your water element. So that involves being loving, that involves being caring and compassionate and nurturing. It involves being sensitive. It involves being jovial and interested in creating loving relationships with people. But it's tender, right? It's not ripe. It's not really ripe yet. So some of you might have budding relationships, romantic or otherwise. So if you move to a new city or you move to a new job and you have to meet new people, you're going to be in this energy of you want to make connections with people. You want to start having good times with people, but you just might be a little shy, or you're not really sure. You don't really have your footing established yet. You don't know the local etiquette or culture of the city that you've moved to. So you're learning how to get along in a compassionate way, or in a sensitive way, which is nice because you'll be back in your element. You know, after you've borrowed the Queen of Swords clothes, you'll give them back and be like, thank you, Queen of Swords. Now I'm going to go put on my Page of Cups clothes and get back to being my Piscean self, right? That's good. In terms of specifics, because we did have the Two of Cups before, and like I said, it is talking to some of you about being particularly interested in romance and a romantic relationship. So for some of you, you're going to be connecting with possibly a water sign, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces person. And if it's not somebody of the signs, don't ever like force a sign just because I've mentioned air signs, and I'm going to mention fire signs as well. And I mentioned Cancer before. Don't force any of these signs. If you don't come across someone, if they're a Taurus, but they give you these feelings in your tummy, go with it. But regardless, some of you are going to be encountering somebody that makes you feel like kind of kid-like. Like, what do you call that? Like puppy dog-ish. You know, when it comes to love, like you're going to be like giggly and bubbly when you're around them. You're going to get butterflies in your stomach whenever you get texts from them, and you're going to, you know, just want to stare into their eyes for hours on end. Like it's very like a almost old-fashioned like courting is how I feel this is, like very old school, like get to know you. This is not a Tinder thing. Okay, this is not a one night stand energy. This is like, I like you. I really like you. It's not love. It's not about sex or a hookup. It's like, I really like you. Oh my God, I like you. And it's because this is what you desire. So you might be calling in someone who could potentially fulfill that role, okay? Overall energy for May, Pisces, you have the Queen of Wands. So there could be a fire sign around you of particular interest in Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. But the overall energy is similar to the Queen of Swords, how she's just like about her business. The Queen of Wands is also about her business, but she's a little bit nicer. Honestly, she's a little bit nicer than the Queen of Swords. So I think why she is showing up in the overall is because in general, you need to have this resolute feeling. You need to feel empowered to go forward with your life in whatever way, direction you're going to go. And this woman is confident. Doesn't have to be a woman. You don't have to be a woman to resonate with this. But I'm speaking specifically of the energy of the Queen of Wands. Confident. Assured. Queen of Swords is also that way, but she's kind of like, for lack of a better word, she's a bitch when she does it. The Queen of Wands is less that way. Just a little less. She's a little nicer. And I think you can't sustain, personally, not personally, I think most of you would not feel comfortable being this way throughout the month of May or throughout any period of time. Maybe for like a day or two, maybe for like an hour or two, whatever. I think it's more feasible for Pisces to sustain an energy similar to the Queen of Wands, where she would be invested in something and she would be passionate about it. She would care about it. Not to say the Queen of Swords doesn't. She cares about things, but more in a self-serving energy. The Queen of Wands cares about it. Yes, it serves her, but it also serves people that she cares about as well. There's like a more communal energy with the Queen of Wands, and I think that's what is influencing you. Or what could influence you, I should say. What could influence you. Alright, Pisces, that's going to be your reading for May 2018. I hope that something here resonated with you. If it did, go ahead and like the video, comment below, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. If you feel compelled to do any of that stuff, that would be amazing. If not, that's okay too. And I will be back in 4 weeks when I come back to do your general readings for the month of June. And I hope to see you then. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.